Welcome to the Explainer, everyone. Grab those magnifying glasses and tightly secure your detective hats because today we are joining a super curious student named Disha on a thrilling scientific investigation. We are going to solve the mystery of food. I mean, have you ever wondered what actually happens to our meals when we leave them sitting out for way too long? Well, let's jump right into the investigation and find out. Picture this. It's a sunny Monday morning at school. Disha, who is a naturally curious girl, a real food detective, suddenly finds her school lunchbox from 3 whole days ago. Yeah, she completely forgot it in her bag on Friday. So when she finally pops that lid open, ooh, yuck. Her absolute favorite uthapam had developed this terribly foul smell and was covered in these strange, fuzzy, colored patches. No way, right? What in the world happens to her delicious food? Well, Disha was determined to find out. Okay, to crack this case, we need to meet our prime suspects. Enter the microbes. Now, microbes are these tiny, tiny living things. Actually, they're so small that they are completely invisible to our regular eyes. But hey, just because you can't see them doesn't mean they aren't there. They are literally everywhere. They're hanging out in the dirt and soil, swimming in the water, floating in the air around us right now, resting on plants and animals. And yep, believe it or not, they even live inside of you and me. When thousands of these little guys gather together on old food, just like Disha's forgotten uttapam, they formed as weird, fuzzy-colored patches that we call mold. So, why did these microbes target that specific lunchbox? Well, Disha's older brother, Anna, gave her a massive clue. He explained that since microbes are living things, they have very specific needs to survive and grow. It's kind of like a recipe for a microbe party. They absolutely need three things: moisture, which is basically water, air to breathe, and just the right temperature. Give them those three things, and they will absolutely take over your food. But here is the ultimate detective secret. Because they need these three specific things, if you take away even just one of them, boom, you stop the spoilage completely in its tracks. All right, let's look at our next piece of evidence, comparing two very different food situations. So, Disha noticed a slice of bread that had been left out on the balcony. It went bad and got covered in those fuzzy colored patches in just a couple of days. But then she looked in her kitchen and saw the traditional green mango pickles that her Pati, her grandmother, had made. Now, those pickles had been sitting in a jar for 2 whole months. And guess what? Perfectly safe and still super delicious. So we have to ask ourselves, why does some food spoil in days while other food lasts for months? To figure this out, Disha started paying close attention to the grown-ups in her house. She saw her Amma and Appa placing these bright red chilies on a mat right out in the hot, blazing sun. Now, why would they do that? Well, it's actually a super clever preservation method called drying. By placing those chilies out in the sun, they're using the sun's heat to remove all the moisture, all the water from inside the chilies. And if we think back to our main clue, right, microbes need moisture to survive. Take the water away, no microbes can grow. That means those chilies can be safely stored and turned into chili powder for the entire year. Pretty smart. Okay, so that totally solves the chilies. But wait, what about those amazing 2-month-old mango pickles? Well, Pati has a brilliant secret weapon of her own against spoilage. See, she isn't drying the mangoes. Instead, she's pouring thick mustard oil right into the glass jar. And that oil, it's doing a very specific, totally scientific job. It physically blocks the air from getting inside the food. Remember, our prime suspects, those pesky microbes, need air to breathe and grow. So by covering the food in oil, Pati is keeping the air out, which keeps the bad microbes out entirely. Case closed on the pickles. Let's pull up our official detective evidence log. Humans have actually used these amazing traditional methods for generations to transform fast-spoiling ingredients into long-lasting, tasty foods. It is literal science happening right in our kitchens. Just look at this. We use dehydration to turn a regular, soft roti into a crispy kakra that lasts for ages. We use sun-drying to turn mangoes into sweet, chewy arm puppet. We use high heat to clarify butter and turn it into ghee. And of course, pickling and oil to make lemons and mangoes last for months. Honestly, it's just incredibly smart. Okay, brace yourselves because we're about to dive into the biggest plot twist of our entire case. Up until now, we've kind of treated microbes like the bad guys ruining our lunches, right? But finding out that not all microbes are villains is honestly the coolest part of this investigation. Some of them are actually amazing allies in the kitchen. Seriously, did you know that the invisible microbes floating in the air are exactly what help make idli and dosa batter rise? It's true. Without those helpful little microbes doing their thing, we literally wouldn't have fluffy, delicious idlis for breakfast. Mind blown. So what's the grand final discovery of our investigation? It's that we share our world with microbes. Yes, for sure, eating spoiled food full of bad microbes will give you a terrible stomachache and nasty indigestion. But other good microbes, they are our friends. So to keep our stomachs happy and to stay healthy, a good food detective follows a few golden rules. Number 1, eat fresh seasonal foods, because they are the absolute healthiest for our bodies. 2, your teeth are tools, so use them to chew your food properly, and eat slowly so you don't accidentally choke. And finally, maintain great oral hygiene. Regularly brushing and rinsing keeps the bad microbes far away from our teeth and gums. So store your food right, eat smart, and don't forget to thank the good microbes that help us out. All right, junior detectives, it's quiz time. Let's see if you can solve these 3 final mysteries based on everything we've uncovered today. Number 1, why do some food items last for weeks while others spoil in just a few days? Number 2, if you are going on a 2-day trip, what 5 foods will you pack, and exactly how will you preserve them so they don't go bad? And number 3, imagine a world completely without food preservation. What would that world even look like? Teachers and parents, go ahead and pause the explainer right here so your classroom of junior food detectives can team up and solve these mysteries together. Stay curious, everyone, and keep exploring the wonderful world around you.